Good morning, students. Welcome you all in this video. In the previous video, we have discussed summary and the first part of Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Now, we will study line by line explanation in this video. As you know, Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa, fought for the freedom of his people. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets. A spectacular array, an impressive display. As you know, all international leaders came there to attend the ceremony, inaugural ceremony, and there were jets, helicopters, troop carriers rode in perfect formation over the Union buildings. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy. It was not only a display, but a demo of the military loyalty to democracy. Democracy we have already discussed. What is it? Democracy is for the people, of the people, and by people. To a new government. As you know, this new government was of Nelson Mandela, that had been freely and fairly elected. Only moments before, the highest generals of South African Defence Force and Police, their chest bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. Earlier, who were the class 1 officer, they also saluted Nelson Mandela and pledged their loyalty towards him. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. And now he also remembered those days when they didn't salute but they arrested Nelson Mandela. Do underline this line. Finally, a chevron, a pattern of the shape of V. Chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue, and gold of the new South African flag. And there was smoke of these planes black, red, green, blue, and gold of the new South African flag. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems. On that day, two national anthems were sung, and the vision of whites singing Nkosi Sikaled Africa and blacks singing the stem. Two national anthems were sung on that day, first for white and second for old anthem of republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem, they once despised, once they hated to worship, they would soon know the words by heart. On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with the sense of history in the first 10 years of 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, the white-skinned people of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhuman societies the world had ever known. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century, my own 18th decade as a man, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedoms of all people. Earlier there was white people government, but now it has been changed and Nelson Mandela became president and it was replaced. Now this government know the rights and freedoms of all people without any discrimination, regardless of the color of their skin. Earlier there was discrimination between the black and white. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people whose suffering courage can never be counted or repaid. Earlier, there was exploitation of black people. No one heard their suffering. I felt that day as I have on so many other days. I was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. That long and noble line ended and now began again with me. They were with him. I was pained that I was not able to thank them. Now, Nelson Mandela said that he was very painful because he was unable to thank them, that they were not able to see because they were not live what their sacrifices had wrought. The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. All of us will spend many years, if not generations, recovering from that profound hurt, but the decay of oppression and brutality at another unintended route means done, achieved, profound, deep, and strong. And that was it produced the Oliver Thambos, the Walter Sissulus, the Chief Luthilus, the Yusuf Dadus, the Brahm Fishers, the Robert Sobus of our time, men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom, and generosity that their like may never be known again. Perhaps it requires such depth of operation to create such heights of character. My country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soul. Now he says that his country is rich in minerals. There are so many minerals beneath the soul. But I have always known that its greatest wealth is, do underline, people, finer and truer than the purest diamond. They are diamonds in true sense. It is from these companion in the struggle, that I learned the meaning of grace, and because they were my companion at the time of the struggle. Time and again I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. I have seen men stand up to attack and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it, victory. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Now, who is the brave man? The brave man is who conquers the fear, who does not afraid, but he conquers that fear. No one is born hating another person because of the color of the skin or his background or his religion. It is not that a person learned from his birth to hate another person. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. And according to Nelson Mandela, that love can be taught them, for love comes more naturally to the human heart. It is a natural instinct. Even in the grimmest time in prison, when that was a very hard time when he was in prison, when his comrades, his companions, I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guard. There was a guard, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. So, students, I think you are able to understand this